Harper's Bazaar just put out Rihanna's cover story and everything, and she just also had a birthday that just passed as well. And that birthday that just passed, it could have been a really bad birthday, but it turned out to be a good birthday because A$AP Rocky was found innocent. But anyway, found not guilty. But anyway, she's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar right now. She's discussing upcoming ventures. She's discussing upcoming music. She's saying that her music that she's planning on putting out is not going to be like the regular conventional. It's not going to be like the commercial type of music. She said that Anti is like her only project where she doesn't like feel shame or cringe or whatever. I'm like, that's interesting because I feel like she had a lot of good body of work. Well, maybe I think she said shame, but I mean I love Rihanna's music, but I know her last few, like before Anti, her last few projects, I think I think that she was going through something. I know like with Rated R, she went through something. Unapologetic, she went through something. And like in between that, like Talk That Talk and Loud, I feel like Loud and Talk That Talk were so close together, and I feel like she had to push those two out, because I feel like she was on the Loud tour while she was recording for Talk That Talk. So I don't know, I can't see why she would say like Anti is her most like her authentic and proud work or whatever. So I mean that's fine. Everyone has their own outlook on themselves when it comes to their art. But I am excited for new music. I really adore like the businesswoman, the entrepreneur Rihanna. As time goes by, I understand how the music industry works. Well, I don't understand. I have an understanding of how it works just by being on the outside. I know that I feel like a lot of artists go through different things with like their labels and like what their art should sound like, and having to follow trends and what to do to promote it, and having to go through all those different things to like be a successful music artist. And I feel like Rihanna is one of those ones where like she doesn't have to put out any music ever again. She already made a name for herself, and she's established herself as a businesswoman where she doesn't have to I keep referencing I never forget that she said it was one time, this was a few years ago, I can't remember what era she said this in, but I remember her saying this. She said she wants a career where she doesn't have to tour to make money. And she was just thanking God that she doesn't have to do that, because a lot of times and I'm not putting out any artists, but we see like different like legacy artists that still have to go out and do shows. You know what I mean? And luckily they have a good catalog where they can still live off of their music. But I don't think certain artists, certain legacy artists, if they didn't have to perform or book shows, they wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't like to sing or they don't like to rap, but I'm saying like if they didn't have to book those shows, they wouldn't. I'm sure they would rather sit up with their feet up and like make money, some of passive income like Rihanna does, where she sells panties, she sells fragrance, she sells makeup, she sells hair products now, she sells and I feel like, and I love how Beyonce is really diving in. Beyonce always was an entrepreneur. She always like sold like I think a lot of like artists like always had a fragrance. Everyone had a fragrance, but like now I feel like I'm really starting to see like Beyonce, like she's really getting to her liquor bag. Like she's really getting into entrepreneurship and building a legacy outside of music, because I remember when Chloe Bailey was in an interview, and we're going to talk about Chloe today a little bit too. I remember she was in an interview and she was just explaining the music industry. She was explaining like, all the behind the scenes stuff. And she was, she said music is like the commercial, basically. Music is the commercial, so like a lot of these artists, like, we think that they have it like that, but they don't. Like I said, there's legacy artists right now that book shows because they have to. It seems like if they didn't want to, they wouldn't. So, yeah, that's how I feel. So I love seeing Rihanna be that girl. I love seeing Beyonce be that girl. Megan Thee Stallion just put out her own liquor brand as well. So that's pretty fun. So it's all about generational wealth. I feel like those women are super inspiring.